All in all, what a stunning morning it is today. Sorry, I say quite a lot, don't I? Sorry about that, don't mean to. Change of plan, again, shit happens, doesn't it? Beautiful sunshine here, but down in the Pyrenees, the whole week is looking absolutely dire. So Rob the Rainmaker has done it again, hasn't he? So plans have changed. I'm going down to the Millau Viaduct today. Booked a little Airbnb actually for tonight, just to stay over there tonight and get some, hopefully get some time and do some editing. I tried to do something in the tent last night, but I mean, good God, I don't know if you ever tried to do that with a torch on your head. It's not the most fun. So do that. So I'm going to head down, just start getting packed up, get all my kit packed up. Just let the sun's just coming up now. It's about 7:20 in the morning, and I just want to let the sun just dry off the tent a little bit before we get going. But going to ride down to Millau, check out the bridge today, which is something I've always wanted to see. I love bridges. Do that, and then the idea is that I've spoken to my friend Yerp, who I was going to meet up down in the Pyrenees, and said, look, you guys, I think this is a bad idea. We just, let's do this another month, which is really quite sad, but shit happens, doesn't it? So we're going to head up after tomorrow. Well, tomorrow I guess I'm going to start heading north to sort of like beat the weather, and we're going to go up and meet up in Bruges. And so we're all going to meet in Bruges and go and have a few beers in Bruges, which sounds like a bit of a nice plan anyway. So we'll see how we go. But yeah, I'll still probably still be doing some maybe one more night of camping out somewhere. Not sure how we do, but the trip's been cut short, and it's just what happens, isn't it? I guess. And I'm not gonna head down there and just try and fight my way through. I've spoken to a couple of guys that do the TET and the ATC or something, I don't know, whatever it is, all these off-road sort of like stuff down there, which I'm not really going to do off-road. I'm not on that lump. You can't do off-road on that, not with all that gear. I mean, it's 244 kilograms without all the luggage on it. So it's 300 kilogram bike. You can't do that, and not with my talent anyway. I haven't got any talent. So we'll head up north and and we'll come back on another time. It's as simple as that. So there you go. Sorry, but life is. Well, if I start over there and just pan around, get a load of that. I had to come down the bottom of the and just see it from the base. How stunning is that? That's not all of it either, it goes on a bit further. But I'll get some nice photos of it as well. So this is Millau in sort of central sort of southernist France. Absolutely beautiful. And look at this river that's running down here. Crystal clear river. Must have been running through for donkey's life. But these kids are playing on these rapid boats, whatever you want to call them. I don't know. It looks like a right load of fun. And obviously come down through here and through all these little gates. And these little they've got to go through the little hoops and stuff like that there. I'd love to have a go. It looks like great fun. Here they come, look. Quite a lot of this lot's capsized already. It's down here. Yeah, they capsized. Oh man, it's got to be freezing cold as well, isn't it? What fun. Good luck to them. Morning all. It's about 8 o'clock in the morning. We are heading off, or I am heading off this morning. A bit of bad news. Well, I'll explain it in a different kind of text really, or a different message really. But Pyrenees is off. As simple as that. You know, the storms all next week, and I'm not going to go through the Turkey scenario again. I mean, it's like Rob's done it again, and it Rob's the rainmaker, for Christ's sake. So I rented this little apartment out, which is really nice. And I've been here for 2 days now in Millau. We're down by the Millau Viaduct, and well, you'll see some of that in the video as it comes up. But heading off today, and I'm heading north now, so I'm heading back towards home. Trip's been cut a bit short, which is a bit of a pain in the arse, but things happen, don't they? This is the issue. This is what we kind of go through when we're doing journeys like this. And I'm sick and tired of rain. It's I mean, you look outside today, it's beautiful, absolutely stunning out there today. So it's going to be a nice ride. No idea where I'm going to stop tonight. I'm just going to head north, take the sat nav off, take the motorways off, and just go through some nice back roads, villages and various stuff like that, a couple of dual carriageways, that sort of thing, and just head north. So it's Saturday today, but what I'm going to do is my mate who was going to come down and meet me in Perpignan, that's not happening anymore. So what we've decided we're going to do, because he lives in Holland, so he's going to ride over and he's going to meet me in Belgium. And we're going to go into Belgium and we're going to go to Bruges and, well, probably get on the sauce, I would think. That's what you kind of do when you go to Bruges, and eat some really, really nice Flemish food. So looking forward to that over the next few days. But I've got from Saturday now, so I've got excuse me, I've got 4 days to get there. So there's 4 days of travelling and camping and stuff like that before we get back. I spent yesterday editing and put a video up, and it took me all bloody day to do it. So I'm not doing that again. So I'm going to wait now until I get home. And I'll do it in my studio at home, which is a much better environment to be trying to do it. As trying to do it on your laptop is a bit difficult, really, to be honest. So I'll do it at home on my studio, on my big 30-inch screen and stuff like that, which makes it a lot easier to do. And it might be obviously an awful lot quicker as well, I would think. So hope you're enjoying it so far. It's been fun. I'm going to camp tonight, I think, as I said, which should be interesting, but no idea where we're going to go, where we're going to get to. That adds more to the fun to it. So when I get tired later on this afternoon, I'll decide and we'll have a look for campsites, see if we go through the same process as the other day, but hopefully not have to go through 5 bloody campsites before we find something. So let's get going. Cheers. Well, good morning, everybody. It's Saturday morning now. It's late morning now. Look, it's 9:45. I've had a nice, easy rest for a couple of days down in lovely Millau. Honestly, I met some absolutely fantastic people yesterday in this nice little bar, had a bit of food in there, and just, well, ended up staying a bit longer than I thought I was going to do, actually. But as we say, shit happens, doesn't it? Brilliant place, stunning scenery everywhere, just absolutely beautiful. So I would highly recommend people come to stay at Millau. I'm not sure what the audio quality is like on this today. I've been having some real problems with my DJI. Don't know why. It's a bit weird. Because I thought I'd had the settings and I got them all set up, but my voice was just coming across really muffled and mumbly and no clarity whatsoever. So a bit strange. That's a bit weird. Yeah, a bit strange. But there it is, look, there's the bridge. Wow. So today, I'm heading north towards Bruges, which I'm obviously not going to get there today. It's going to take me like 4 days. I don't need to be there till Tuesday, and it's Saturday now. So I've just taken, my sat-nav for some reason is not navigating for the minute, whether it couldn't find the satellites or something earlier on, which is again a little bit weird for it. I've got to say, Garmin, it's a good bit of kit, but it often lets you down. It often doesn't find what you want and stuff like that, and so sometimes I refer back to Apple Maps, which is what I'm using today, which frankly has never really let me down, so bravo Apple. It's weird, I don't know what your guys' thoughts are, but it's what you use as navigation. I've got to say, Calimoto, which I had favoured and I used to kind of plan a lot of my routes of what I was going to do, is not brilliant. It truly isn't brilliant. When I was down in Dunkirk the other day, when I came over on the ferry, I changed the route obviously to because I was going to go to Calais and I ended up in Dunkirk. But the weird thing is that I moved the route from Dunkirk and it calculated. It said, yeah, no problem at all. Well, I'll tell you what, I was riding around Dunkirk for blimey, at least, I don't know, 25, 30 minutes or something like that, and it kept taking me round and round in circles and everything. In the end, I just thought, sod this, I can't do this anymore. So I cancelled it, got onto the Garmin and just put going south, and I just picked any kind of city going south and everything, and just used that. So I'm sorry, Calimoto,
yours is also a bit difficult. I think it's great for kind of when you're outside of towns and stuff like that, and if you want to just do like a round trip from home or that sort of thing, wonderful. But other than that, I don't know. I mean, it's whose is the best navigation system? Who's got the best bit of kit that you can use to rely on? That really you don't need a Wi-Fi connection to. Would be great. I don't know if there is that. Obviously, you know, with a sat nav, that's free and you pay for it and stuff like that. But you're using up data obviously every time you use your phone or blah blah blah. So you know, what is there out there that is any good as far as I can see? But anyway, so let's get going. It's a bit chillier this morning. It's 14 degrees here at the moment, but still very, very nice. Beautiful, not a cloud in the sky today. Absolutely stunning. And hopefully now, because obviously we've binned the Pyrenees trip, which is a bit sad. Yeah, we've binned that because of the storms coming next week, and well, they're there now, kind of just south of the Pyrenees. Yeah, so we've binned that and heading north and doing it, but just to kind of really chase the weather. But looking north is all looking very, very nice at the moment. So I'll probably put the kibosh on that, knowing me. What the hell? Who cares? This is fun, and it's great to be riding again after a couple of days of not riding. God, motorbiking's fantastic, isn't it? Get out of there, do it. You've got a life, mate. You've just got one life. Live it. Go on, girl, keep going. I missed that actually. I haven't been running for about 2 weeks now, which is not good for me. I go at least twice a week. So when I get home and go out for my first sort of 5 miler, I'm going to be bloody cream cracker die. Look at these mountains, and oh, this is so gorgeous here. Just get a load of that. I'm right up in the Central Massif now, or the Massif Central of France, heading up towards Aurillac, I think it's called, something like that. I thought I'd just come up here and just have a proper look around. I mean, that is just a view. That mountain range in the distance there, absolutely stunning. Couldn't have picked a better day for it. There you go, the old bike's handling up well. All good, enjoy. Well, I just found this little brasserie on the side of the road. It's a huge place, but there's no one in it. So she's going to make me a cheese platter, which is all she's got at the moment, which is fair enough. Okay, that's quite nice. Well, I can tell you what a morning of riding. Absolutely unbelievable. I've never ever, I mean, I ran, it's called Le Lot, so Le Lot is the river. I ran all the length of the side of the river there. Absolutely, well I can tell you now, I've hardly taken anywhere off the centre of my tyres today because it's all just come off of the sides because of all the twisties and stuff that you've just seen on the video. It's what an epic ride. I mean, sod the Pyrenees, who needs to go to the Pyrenees when you've got such a wonderful lot of roads in the central massif of France. It's just south of Aurillac. You run the lot, so Le Lot has got the lot, basically. But yeah, what an absolute epic ride. Loved it today. So yeah, gonna have to have a bit of lunch now, and yeah, there we go. So enjoy. So I meet this farmer in the village where I've just been riding through, and I said to him, any campsites local? He said, I've got one. He said, it doesn't, it's a bit old. He said, but you can come and stop here if you want. And he's got beer. He's given me a Lef beer, which is quite nice to do. So I'm going to set up literally just in front of this old barn here. Just set up my little tent, probably just there just down there by my bike. And I mean, it's perfect. It's perfectly peaceful, quiet. He's got a fridge full of beer. What could possibly be right? And it's beautiful sunshine. What could possibly be better than that? Evening all. The sun is going to go down fairly soon. It's kind of nice. I've found this lovely little farm to stay at. Actually, I'm just staying outside this old beaten up old barn. I'll put some photographs up of it all later on in the setup. But I'm camping again tonight. Last night camping, sadly, on this trip, because I'm going to head to Reims tomorrow and look at a few things there. There's a few bits and pieces that I haven't seen in Reims I want to see, because it's like, sort of like a capital of the sort of Champagne area of France, isn't it? So I'm going to go and have a little look at that and see what's going on. Couple of things really. Today's been one of the best days of riding I've had in God knows how long. There's a famous river in France called Le Lot, and Le Lot has got Le Lot, as I said earlier on an earlier point during the course of today. But it's just such epic riding down there. It really is, and I think the central massif of France is something completely what's the word I'm looking for? Underrated, completely underrated, and it needs to be explored an awful lot more. And I did meet two bikers on the way down here that were French guys that were on their way back. They were heading up north, going to Lille. They've been down here for about 5 or 6 days, sort of, doing that area, or down there. I'm literally right smack bang in the middle of France at the moment. So I've got about a 4-hour ride tomorrow to get up to Reims. So I don't need to leave very early at all, which is nice. So I can have a lay in the morning and again, which is good. But this channel that I set up here is mainly really for my memories and stuff like that of keeping going. But I also said that it was going to be a channel to sort of like save my personal views on things and how I feel about certain things and stuff like that. And I wanted to touch on a subject because I know there's a few people that I know, close friends. One not so close, he lives in New Zealand. I'll talk to you about him in a minute. I don't know him very well, but we speak online quite a lot and record messages for each other, that sort of thing. He's also a musician as well.
But about 7 years ago, and I say this is a subject that is very private, really, to me. But I think it needs to be spoken about and needs to be shared, because I've got nothing to hide with any of this. But about 7 years ago, I went for a blood test with the doctors, and they basically said that my blood pressure was high. They needed to put me on some drugs and God knows what. And I said, well, I'm not really happy about that, blah, blah, blah. They said, well, okay, well, let's just take you for a CT angiogram. So I went for this CT angiogram. This is 7 years ago. And it came back and said that I've got mild cardiovascular disease. Now, it runs in my family. It's, I lost both grandfathers to heart disease and stuff like that. My mother's got it. She's had a quadruple bypass. It's in the family. It's that sort of thing. Now, I eat healthily. I drink too much, as we've said, but I don't know whether there's ever been a link between alcohol and cardiovascular disease. That much I don't know, but I don't think so. But I thought, right, okay, I'm gonna try and address this. And what my issue was is that it said on the scan that I had between a 25 and 40% narrowing of my left descending LAD, which is the widowmaker. It's not a very nice one. That's right on your heart. So it's not a nice one. And I thought, right, okay, let's research this and let's just find out exactly what's going on. And what I didn't realise, I started following a guy called Dave Feldman. I don't know, you might want to look him up on YouTube and that. Very, very interesting guy. Been doing some studies on ketogenic diets and all sorts of things like that. But I finally got in contact with a guy who's a friend of well, he's like my brother, really. Richard Price, who I used to play in a band with years ago. Guy's called Damon Ward. He lives in South Island, New Zealand, north of South Island, New Zealand. And Nelson, he lives, and he's actually got a good YouTube channel. It's called the Bro Check Club, and it's all about men's health and mental health and all sorts of things like that, which is a really good thing, because all men, they pretend they don't suffer, they pretend they don't have a problem, but we do, and that's the simple fact of it. That's how it is. But he's also got another YouTube channel called Clay Tool Stories, which is if you're into sort of like pig hunting and stuff like that, 'cause there's a lot of wild feral pigs in New Zealand, and he goes and hunts them, and he has them. They eat them. I don't think he eats them anymore after what happened to him, because he found out that he had CVD as well. He was getting out of breath. I mean, he couldn't even walk up a hill without being completely out of breath. Now, I don't have that. I don't have any symptoms at all. I say I run 5 miles a couple of times a week, and I have no issues with what I've got. But I also found through the research some really interesting facts about certain products and certain enzymes and that sort of thing that you can help treat yourself with. And I just want to talk about that quickly, because in Japan, Japanese people are some of the longest living people on the planet. And one of the contributing factors of that is the fact that they eat a product called nattokinase. Now, this is Bacillus silicus, I think it is called. It's kind of like a probiotic, but they mix it with soybean, and it's fermented in soybeans. I started making it at home long time ago, and I've now been taking it for years. Well, I had a CT scan back in November of last year, 2024, and after 7 years, my CVD, my cardiovascular disease CVD, has not got any worse. It still says 25 to 40% narrowing. The doctor he said, well, that's not normally what happens. He said, you can't really reverse atherosclerosis unless you go on statins and lower your cholesterol and all sorts of stuff like that. Well, we know that LDL cholesterol is supposed to be bad, but it's not. And don't listen, I am not a doctor. This is not medical advice. This is nothing at all. So do not take this as anything like that. Get your own information, make your own decision about your life and stuff like that. Do not take me as a gospel thing. I'm just saying what's happening with me. I find it very, very strange that, because my friend Damon as well, he said that he when the doctor said, look, no, you've got to put a stent in, you've got to do all this sort of, he said, no, I'm not doing it. And he's also gone down the route that I'm going down, or I'm going down, not as harsh as he's doing it. He's given up everything. He's given up alcohol. He's given up meat. He's given up. He's all seed oils. In fact, he has no oils at all in his. He's following a diet from a guy called Cordwell Esselstyn, which you might want to look at. He wrote the China Project, or the China Diet, whatever it's. I think it's the China Project. Very, very interesting guy. But Damon has actually reversed his atherosclerosis, and he's now clear. You know, he's now got very, very clean veins and arteries and all sorts of stuff like that. So it can be done. But when you get over 50 years of age, most people will have some sort of narrowing. I'm not saying that I'm anti-statins at all, rosuvastatin or anything like that. I'm not saying I'm anti it at all. I'm just saying that in order to kind of complement what you're trying to do with for your health, nattokinase is it's easily taken, it's easily available, it's very cheap to do. But I've just found out a new Facebook group and a product called cyclodextrin. If you look up cyclodextrin on Facebook, you'll see there's a specialised group to it. I'm a member, so you can check out and you can see. But I joined that group a little while ago, and I'm now taking this cyclodextrin, which I bought from China, under this guidance from a couple of the admin on that group. It's got some really good research to it, and you take it as an enema. So, you know, in other words, you stick it up your bum and you squirt it up your bum, and that absorbs it straight into your bloodstream, and that's really, and that literally breaks down all arterial plaque, whether it's calcium, whether it's the LDL deposits in the endothelial of your artery. Excuse me. It does that. I bought really nice wine earlier today. It's a Bergerac wine, and I'm having it out of my bucket. So. But cyclodextrin. So I would check it out. Check it out if anybody's got this issue. And I know certainly most people that start to get into later ages, like I am now, will have some kind of narrowing of arteries. Not much, and if it's not symptomatic or anything like that. I mean, my cardiologist said to me, we only really start to get worried about it when it's like, over 75% narrowing of the artery. And another radiologist that I know said to me that you would only ever really start to experience angina effects at around 90% of narrowing. So I just think it's worth talking about. I think it's worth trying to understand. As I say, this whole idea of me doing these motorbike trips and everything is about living life. It's not about anything else. And it's about talking about some of these issues that face people and stuff like that. And I would never have thought that I would suffer this sort of thing, because I thought my lifestyle was pretty healthy. But once I did find out 7 years ago, I've done something about it. And although it's not reversed it, so to speak, or it's not showing up as being reversed yet, I'm hoping with the nattokinase and with the cyclodextrin over time. So I'm going to go back and get an ultrasound of my heart done probably around Christmas time, maybe January, February time, something like that. That's what the admin of cyclodextrin have told me that I should do, and see what that shows up, and it should show some reversal. So we'll see how we go. But interesting subject, because it's the biggest killer in the world. Let's see, and let me know what your thoughts are, because it's important. It's important we all talk about it, and the most important thing is not to scare yourself silly, and not allow yourself to be scared silly by doctors that want to put you on drugs or put stents in and all sorts of things like that. I mean, any intervention like that, as far as I'm concerned, is a last resort, really. But that's just my opinion. It's nothing else. So today's been an epic day. Really enjoyed the ride. Really enjoyed and I really enjoyed being out here and being able to kind of camp and do this sort of thing. So guys, I shall see you on the next one. I'll see you when you've got less time, as they say. Cheers, Governor. Ta-da.